This is Freetown Sound with Matthew Altruda. I'm really excited today because I have Ross Fetterman, the drummer of Tally Hall, live in studio, the one and only, one of my BFFs. Ross, great to have you live in studio.
Thank you. Always great to be here.
And it's just incredible that you're here this week to see the family. And man, congratulations on going gold twice.
Thank you.
It's not too often. I mean, it's never happened before that I was lucky enough to have an artist in studio that had a gold record. Now I have one that has 2 gold records, and it's an Ann Arbor band. Like, this is where you should be, Ross.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it.
He will take it. He got into his high school Hall of Fame. He has a plushie doll.
High School Bands Hall of Fame.
High School Hall of Fame.
Bands Hall of Fame.
That's still your high school's Hall of Fame.
I don't know that the high school has a Hall of Fame anyway. But
if they did, you'd be in it, Ross.
Maybe.
So tell me this. When you got the call and found out you were getting a gold record, you obviously already assumed you were getting one because you can see the streaming numbers and everything else. But
yeah, we didn't really get a call. You kind of have to go out of your way and call the RIA. Well, you email them and have them audit your numbers and all that.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of a problem. That's why. So I think we kind of knew about this a while ago, and only just recently, sometime over the summer, it was actually certified. I think that might have been the last time I was on the show. It was like right around then.
Yeah, because we talked about it, but didn't talk about it on the air. But we probably, we didn't want people to know yet. But
then it takes a while to make the plaque. You know, the actual like commemorative plaques are so there's a lot of back and forth on designing that and getting them made and all that. So mine actually just came in the mail, and it's really really nice to see in person and the physical thing. And that's the moment you really like feel it, you know, and hang it up on the wall.
Where did you hang it?
I hung it in my one of my hallways.
Is it a long hallway?
It is a long hallway.
So you have room for your 20 other gold albums?
Yeah, right.
In gold records?
Yeah, we'll see. It took us, what, how many years?
Seriously.
20-some years to get these. So, yeah.
If Marvin's goes gold, will that gold record of the full album go somewhere else?
I don't know. I don't want to jinx it by thinking about it, because I think that'll be a really, really cool accomplishment if the whole record goes gold for sure, because that's a much higher bar.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, Abso Facto went gold with Dissolve.
Yeah, not surprised at all. He must have gone gold a while ago with that.
He definitely did. I'm not sure if he got the record or not, or even I'm sure he was on Atlantic. Atlantic definitely took care of that.
Labels do all that. If you're on a label that goes gold, I feel like they make a whole. I don't know if they do anymore, but they definitely used to make a whole big deal about it and give it to everybody on the marketing teams and the A&R teams.
Yeah, they definitely did. But I don't know of any other Ann Arbor artists to do so. And so congratulations. It was The Bidding and Hidden in the Sand. And then what's the next song to go gold?
If Another goes gold as a single, I think Turn the Lights Off would be. That
would make sense.
But I'm sure Iggy and the Stooges and Bob Seger have gold, if not multi-platinum. I'm sure they have multi-platinum.
And you can give credit to Lord Huron. He went to U of M. He's gone gold. Yeah. And you can give credit to Madonna. She went to U of M. She went gold.
She's definitely gone gold many, many times over. Not many, many times platinum too. Yeah. And especially because people bought, we went gold with a combination of purchases and streams.
Yeah, true.
So they have updated a little bit now, where you can get streaming numbers to feed into it, which is nice, because we didn't physically sell them any downloads.
No. Is there a name for people that have gold records? Are you like a gold record something?
No, not like a Grammy nominated or Grammy award winning. No, I don't think there's a gold record holding equivalent. No, which is fine. That's
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if like Tally Hall got a Grammy for Best New Artist.
You're right.
You're like, oh, never mind.
No.
All right, so we're gonna play The Bidding first.
Okay.
It's your second single to go gold, but you're no longer a one-hit wonder, so. Well,
we're a two-hit wonder.
You were never a one-hit wonder.
I don't know that we were ever really like a hit kind of band anyway.
No, you're not.
We're definitely not a hit band.
All right, well, let's do it. This is The Bidding off of Marvelous Marvin's Mechanical Museum.
Marvin's Marvelous
Mechanical.
Because
no, I always screw that. All right, we'll do the song and then we're going to dive into it.
We can get into that later, but there's a good reason why that's often messed up.
True. All right, this is The Bidding by Tally Hall. That is The Bidding by Tally Hall off Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. Tally Hall's first album, which was released in 2005. Is that true?
And then I think again in 2009.
No, like 2008.
I don't know. We re-released it when we signed to Atlantic. I think it was 2008.
That was so annoying. We've talked about this on their radio, but being a fan in Ann Arbor, having the same band you love release the same album twice over a 4-year period. Who else am I going to beef with it about, Ross? All your fans.
Yeah, I know.
They weren't around then. They don't know about the beef Ann Arbor had.
Yeah, no, I know. And it's just some of those. Sometimes you just lose the battles with major labels and you play the game. And that was one that we. Yeah,
facts of life.
But I do think that the re-release of it is. I think if my memory serves me right, that's when we got on the OC. That's when we got on so that there's something to be said for a marketing push that comes with it. And I think a lot of people felt like, well, this record's great. I'm sure your next record's going to be great, but it's a shame to just let this be the one that was like pre, the sort of kerplunk and 1039 smoothed out slappy hours to the Dookie album, right? And so might as well just go back a little bit and bring this first record of yours onto the. But of course, it was kind of a botched
and
release
it made sense. It made sense with the show and the momentum in the record industry. During that period of time when you got signed, changed so much over the next 3 years because of the internet.
It was a very chaotic time to sign to a major label.
Ridiculous. So, I mean, the good news is if they didn't sign you, you probably. Wouldn't have gone gold twice.
Oh,
probably.
I mean, it's so far removed from when we were on the label now. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
It's really hard to say.
Well, the good news is Atlantic's not making any money from it.
Nope. They didn't think those masters were worth anything and gave them back to us.
Yeah. For free. No, you paid for them.
Well, no, we didn't pay for them, but we did. They did contractually owe us another record if they hadn't given them back to us. We sort of exchanged that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I bet you they want that deal now.
Probably, yeah.
So did they want a third album?
I think maybe, but they didn't want to release the second record as we had delivered it, and we didn't want to record a bunch more songs and replace songs, and it was clear they didn't.
They didn't love Good and Evil.
I think they really liked some of it at first. I think the problem is they didn't really love they just didn't love us. The people and the people that did had left the label. Because they started getting into, the outro's great. Can we just hear the outro more? Can we make that the bridge? Can we hear that part 3 times in the song instead of just at the very end? It's yo, dude, did you listen to any of our other songs? It's kind of like part of the game for us.
Did you reach out to anyone from Atlantic since getting your gold records to flex on them?
No, not yet. Although some former people at Atlantic got them, the people that had signed us to Atlantic who are no longer there, and they knew, and I think they feel some sense of they
knew.
I knew. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'm going to email the board of Atlantic tonight and let them know about this, Ross.
Okay. Tally up all the, no pun intended, all the streaming numbers and calculate the payout rate. And
I wonder how many artists they've signed in their history that were less successful than Tally Hall over this period. 99%?
I don't know about that high, but
definitely 90%.
Definitely some, but that's music for you.
That is music for you. You just never know.
You never know.
I mean, this could be Tally Hall could get 100 times bigger, and I could be having you come on my radio show, and we walk out, there's thousands of people outside. So
look what happened with Kate Bush and Strange. And I mean, she had a legit career at the time, but Stranger Things just made her way bigger than she ever had. Way bigger.
All right, so we're going to play your second gold single.
Okay.
All right, this is Hidden in the Sand.
Technically the first one that went
Technically the first one. This is Hidden in the Sand off of Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum on Treetown Sound. That was Welcome to Tally Hall off Marvin's Mechanical Museum. One of my favorite songs, and one of the first songs most Tally Hall fans used to be introduced to the band by before they went crazy viral on TikTok 100 times over. I have Ross Fetterman live in studio with me, who is the drummer of Tally Hall. If you're just tuning in now, you're in for a special treat. So, Ross, I'm sure it's been forever since you've heard Welcome to Tally Hall.
Yeah, actually, I mean, probably since the last time you played it on our show, because that's where I most often hear our music.
True, and I haven't probably played that song forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it nostalgic for you to hear it with everything going on with Marvin's?
Yeah, definitely. Because all those sounds were recorded there, like field recordings. So all the little sound effects you hear at the beginning of the song and the bridge are all machines there, and just the sound effects from the arcade games.
All were recorded in there.
Yeah.
Was it the original recording for Atlantic for both? Or did you have to go to Marvin's and redo it?
I think all those recordings were the same.
And is that actual Marvin's voice in the recording?
Yeah, it is. It is. We had a really, really awesome time getting to know Marvin as he was helping. I mean, first we went mostly to get his blessing on, can we do this, right? Yep. And we had really all kind of felt like that place really captured the vibe of our collection of songs, and that there was no better, fit for sort of representing the music in a different way. And, we had hoped that he would like how how it related to his thing too, but you never know. But he really embraced it. And I think he got something out of seeing like what his place inspired in a totally different form. And so he was very helpful and, supportive and yeah.
Have you been following the news? I know we've talked about it.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit, and it's probably worth talking about now. So it sounds like there's a push to redevelop the building that Marvin's is currently housed in, and we just found out on like Tuesday night. So I quickly wrote a letter to the Planning Commission in the city of Farmington Hills. I know some others in the band did as well.
You're like, I'm going to tally flex on you.
We definitely have reached out to Jeremy, Marvin's son, who inherited the place when Marvin passed away several years ago at this point. And haven't heard back from Jeremy yet directly, and we're hoping to, because we want to know exactly what he wants to do and how we can help that.
And how did they give any type of timeline of when it would close?
No, all I got from somebody in the planning department was that the earliest the meeting would go in front of the full. So there was like a planning commission meeting that happened this past week. I tuned into the whole thing. It was like 3.5 hours. And it passed through that. And so they're pushing it to the full city council. And I was told January city council meeting at the earliest, but other than that timeline, I don't know. The meeting was wild. I mean, I would have gone in person if I could. So tuning in was the best I could do. But what a juxtaposition. It was, they have public comment. And so you've got a lot of people very, very emotional about keeping Marvin's and making sure that it can survive and stay there. And at the same time, you've got this very just kind of like, I hate to use the word bureaucratic, but it was like the planning commission basically like, look, our job is to just look at these plans and see if things like, is the curb big enough and are the buildings far enough from the curb and all that stuff. Somebody from a different town or a different city in the area from a planning commission said, hey, look, I know you guys have the power to make these stipulations. And somebody actually did try to put that into it. And I think that the city attorney at the end was like, you guys can't do this. It won't hold up legally. Yep. And so now what it's at, I mean, first of all, I will say it was emotional to hear it's hard to even, I was tearing up watching some of it. It's hard to even describe it without tearing up a little bit because, to see how much this place means to so many people and in ways I had never even thought of. Somebody came to say they work with people who, are wheelchair bound, and there aren't a lot of places that they can go and freely move around. And Marvin's is one of the places where they can go and feel totally empowered to be who they are and do what they want to do and enjoy it just like everybody else. I heard a lot of people, sorry, it's crazy. I think a lot of people were feeling this emotion. I hope the city got that. And I hope there are people from city council who are going to review this, and not just the planning commission, but the people actually that have the power to make these decisions, because the number of people who said, look, this is such a safe space for me. And I think more important, it's just, we need this. People need a physical place to go. And like I said, we want to do anything we can to help. I worry that the answer that's going to be sufficient for the city and for a lot of people is going to be like, well, we'll give them another space, because look, the building is getting old. There's no questioning that. And the developer makes a good point that they need to update these buildings, because they need updated buildings to get tenants. Yeah. And I get that. But at the same time, like, I don't know what kind of new sterile box store vibe is going to work for Marvin's. You know, currently it's in the space that was still the Tally Hall building. It has this huge vaulted ceiling. There's so much cubic footage above where you stand, full of posters and planes and all sorts of stuff hanging in the air. And like, I don't know how you just like stick that into a normal commercial building anymore. And
can you imagine cleaning that place out?
Yeah,
oh my God.
and so and honestly, if they could say, look, we're going to recreate this exactly, we're going to have the same pitch to the ceiling. We're literally going to make another place next door that's going to be the same dimensions, and it's just going to be new.
Yeah.
My guess is it's still going to cost a lot of money to move things, and I think that's where we'll do everything we can to help fundraise, to do whatever we can. But like I said, we want to support Jeremy and whatever he wants. So I hope we hear back from him soon. And even if we don't, we'll continue to write letters on behalf of all the fans that we hear from. And thank you to, I know a lot of getting very emotional to see so many of our fans now that maybe didn't know about this place, and now it means that much to them too.
Right,
come and share how much they want to see this place saved. Meant the world.
It's unbelievable how many people, Tally Hall fans, come to Michigan for the first time ever. It's like a pilgrimage.
That's the point I tried to make in the letter I wrote, which is that, like, I know you people on the council in this city are familiar with this place because it's a Farmington Hills staple. And I'm sure you're aware that people do travel here from all around the world. But I don't know how sure of the scale of how many people every day. It's close to 1 million streams a day of people are listening to the album Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. And I can assure you a good chunk of them look into what the place is and learn about it and get excited about it and want to come visit it.
I mean, it's literally, how many places are like Marvin still left in this world?
I described it in the email that, first of all, it is a unique place. Yeah. Truly. And unique literally means one of a kind. And I was scolded by when I was getting my PhD in grad school, I referred to something as being a more unique this and that. And he said, you can't qualify, no qualifiers for unique. The definition of unique is one of a kind. Nothing is more or less unique. Never say that. He was like really specific about language. But it's, in a good way. But no, Marvin's is unique. It is one of a kind. But I think the point that I wanted to make in that letter too is that even the places you could try to compare it to, that would hold a candle to it, maybe 5 in the world. And and even I personally feel that for the wealth of that area on Orchard Lake Road, there's going to be some millionaire that's going to come in and it's going to be like, no. I don't think, my guess is the money, I don't know. Well, I think it's going to be the thing of, is the building really suitable to preserve in its physical form or not? And I'm afraid that's what it's, but you know what? There are things that you get to enough money and you can do.
True.
And so if we can raise and help, whatever we can do to help get the word out, help raise funds.
They could do like Grand Ole Opry where they just have it inside of the building.
Like a building out, like built inside of it. No, and honestly, like to me, that's a solution. It might just cost more, but like they'll make that happen. I worry, some people said it should get a historical marker significance. It probably isn't old enough for that.
The stuff in it is.
The stuff in it definitely is.
I wonder, that could be a loophole though.
Yeah, and you know what? If it's legal fees to like have some lawyers start looking into this, we'll help support that.
A GoFundMe alone, the last one they did crushed. And I think that now more than ever, people need to fight for things in their community like this. It's not like they're tearing it down to put affordable housing on Orchard Lake Road. They're trying to develop it and bring in a giant grocery store, whoever it may be, I won't name. But it's just, it's one of those things that years later, a whole generation has just missed out on it. And that's just not okay.
Yeah. And a couple of people really brought up the point that, like, look at how many people now are just spending all their time on their phones and their tablets and their computers. And like, part of that is that there aren't, someone's like, sort of like the equivalent with, so I in addition to my tape collection, I guess the tape collection is a good example. My reel-to-reel tapes. It is hard to insure them because the insurance replacement would be an iTunes download or a CD. And that's just the way it works. And so, the way that some city laws would look at this is like, well, like a Dave & Buster's is a suitable replacement. And I think, that's what we're fighting. And I think that's what everybody needs to get the voice. I was like, there is no suitable replacement.
Well, I know there's another meeting with in person, I think on like the 27th of this month.
Already?
I think so.
A commission meeting or a city council meeting?
I think it's city council. I saw it
because they told me January. Okay, so that's less time.
I saw something on Twitter about it. I will confirm that. Okay. If it is something and it is that Monday night, I'll represent for you.
Please do.
I definitely will. I'll wear my suit. I'll slick back my hair. I'll shave, and I'll pretend I'm a high-powered Italian lawyer just for you, Ross.
Yeah, and like I said, the last thing I heard from Jeremy publicly that he posted was that I don't think his section would be the first to necessarily get demoed and redone anyway. So hopefully there's a lot of time, but who knows? Because he didn't know.
It's true.
I think he thought they were safe until that week, and all of a sudden, the developers had changed.
There's many ways. There's many ways of going at it. There's the proper, nice way. There's the more evil way using social media. So if you're listening right now,
chain ourselves to the front door.
Yeah, and you love Marvin's. Make good decisions on social media and online. People are working hard, and city planners are trying to do what they think is best for the city, for the future, and not all of them understand it. So we're going to try to educate them, not threaten them, and
I think they know, but it's tough because it's a private property. There's only so much cities can do. They're at the, it's not city property.
Maybe we can buy it.
Use some sort of eminent domain or something. Yeah.
We will. Well, yeah. Maybe who's ever moving in will just be like, hey, we're just going to make a Marvin's NFT for everyone.
I don't think the thing is like them pushing him out as a tenant. I think it's literally the physical building. That's the tough part. So.
Well, let's get those hammers and nails ready, Ross. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, I know you came here straight from the airport.
Pressed for time.
And I know you're going straight to your mom's, and I hope the Fetterman family is not upset with me for taking all of your time. But
no, we are getting late, though.
You are getting late, and you have a baby, so
yep.
I am going to let you run free with your beautiful wife.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. Yes. I love when I'm here on a Sunday for just this very thing, and so, yeah.
So I'm going to walk you out and say goodbye, but before I do, up next, I'm going to be playing Marrow Dream by Joe Hertler and the Rainbow Seekers, who just released a video of this weekend, and retrace the new single from Junior, which I know you're looking forward to the new album too.
Two of my favorite current Michigan artists.
Yes, we are. We're going to represent for Ross right now. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.